Good morning, Pawleys Island peeps. Today is Wednesday, hump day, September 15th, 2021. And it's time, you guessed it, for your Pawleys Island sunrise and surf report with Debbie Cooper and Steve Littlejohn. And Donna and Holly Cervini and Lisa Clayton and William Page, my brother, William Page. Good morning to you. Don't forget the shell nerd, Gail. Good morning to you, Pittsburgh peep. And of course, your special guest, David Clayton. Good morning, everybody. Low tides this morning about 9:30. Chelsea had a great birthday last night. She said, I want to go to the place. We said, Chelsea, what do you want for your birthday? She said, I want to go to the place that has peanuts on the ground. So that's where we went. We went to Texas Roadhouse in Murrells Inlet. And guess what? They stopped throwing peanuts on the ground. But it was still wonderful. So we met the kids there, and we had a great time. Chelsea had a great time. She ordered a steak. And she loved it. But I have to tell you a story that's kind of funny. So I ordered a T-bone steak, which is giant, right? Just a giant steak, knowing that I would have leftovers for today. And then also so I could give the dogs the bone. And so I brought it back and I put Lisa's leftovers in there too. Here's Paul. So I put all the leftovers in there and I brought it back, and it was really full. Like there was enough food probably for 2 people. Good morning, man. It is an exciting day, Paul. How you doing, man? Oh, we're great. Yeah, that's good, man. Libby and Pirate. There's Pirate. And here's Libby. Hey, Libby. Good morning, Libby. So I got back home, and it was time to let the dogs out. And rather than going straight to the refrigerator and putting the leftovers in the refrigerator, I put the leftovers on top of the bed. And then I ran to the other part of the house where we have the smaller dogs and went to let them out. And when I came back, all 3 dogs, Aspen, Holly, and Coda, were underneath the bed. And we just opened the door, the sliding door. That's what we do. We just open the door and they run out back. And we have a fenced in backyard and they just run out. And that's what they had done. So I said, what the heck? I'm just going to and our bed is so tall. They never get on top of the bed. They never get on the bed. I mean, I have a little step stool to get into this bed. It's so tall. But when I got back, all 3 dogs were underneath the bed with the leftovers. And Lisa, I knew Lisa was going to be furious because this was her leftovers too. But she wasn't. She said, you have got to tell these people tomorrow morning what happened. She said, you have got a story now. Because all 3 dogs were underneath the bed, just with their own portions. And then Coda runs out with this bone sticking out the side of his mouth. And they were part of the party. So there won't be leftovers for me today. But that's okay. Sunrise, you ask. What time is sunrise today, Dave? 6:59. Can you believe it? You don't even have to be an early bird to get out here and enjoy the sunrise. Have you noticed there are more and more people out here watching the sunrise? And I do think it is not because we are drawing attention to it with our program. I don't think it's that. I'm not that self-centered. But I do think it has to do with the fact that it is not abnormally early. I mean, if you got up at 6:50, you could get over here and you can enjoy the sunrise. It's also, the weather's been so pleasant. 76 degrees. So the tide is still going out right now. It's going to be dead low at 9:30. And then just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, you're going to have a high tide. So we're just walking towards the pier. We started towards 3rd Ave today. And we're just walking towards the pier. You can see the waves are less than a foot and it's really flat out there today. How many of you would consider yourselves patient? Just by nature. And don't overly think it, but just by thinking about your personality. Do you feel like you're a patient person? I feel like my wife Lisa is very patient. I think she's really got this figured out. But I'd have to say I don't think I'm very patient just by naturally. I don't feel like I'm very patient. I want immediate gratification, which is why I've really liked car sales for so long. I've loved it because 9 times out of 10, people come to the dealership, or people go to the grocery store to buy milk, right? So 9 times out of 10, if they come to a car dealership, they're there to buy a car, or they need a car. It's kind of like a grocery store for cars. And so you meet a lot of people brand new, which is fun, which is another thing I love. And then you're rewarded almost immediately, the same day, most of the time. So it kind of fits right into my not so patient personality. And it's really why I'm not a chef, because I would eat the food. Because that's what happens whenever I cook. Lisa will tell you. I guess that's kind of gross, but it's the truth. I just love to eat so I don't have to make my own plate. It's terrible. But I think most chefs are really, really patient naturally. Because they have to be, because they can't dig in to the food, otherwise they won't be able to provide for the people they're serving. So today's good news comes straight from Proverbs and talks about this patience, that it's better to be patient than it is to be a warrior and to take a whole city. What do you think of that, Laurel? Lisa says she's patient most of the time. Do you think this is something you can learn? I think you can definitely learn to not be patient. I think the more you choose to be like a bull in a china shop and just kind of take over with lack of patience, then the more likely you are to be like that. Betsy says she's prays for God to make me more patient every day. Can't do it without him. Good morning to you, Nikki. Boy, you have a lot of patience with all the children that you have taken care of and taught over the years. You definitely demonstrate patience every day, and with the parents. God bless you, Nikki, for what you do at Pica. Pawleys Island Christian Academy is so blessed to have you. To this day, all of our children would say that one of their favorite people, and so many children feel this way that have been part of that pica group over the years, that one of their favorite people on this planet is Nikki Howard. So Donna says, I am super patient with children. You taught for over 42 years. Wow. And that she's learned to be more patient with like adults, since the pandemic. And that God is helping her with this. Ocean temperature is 80 degrees. So yesterday I went to my rehab for the first time, my first rehab appointment. I met with Danny at Health Point. And I just wanted to talk about her real quick because she was so patient with me. So she did all these exercises. So my background is exercise physiology, right? So I think sometimes when people have to deal with someone that took exercise physiology 20 years ago or more, more. She was super patient with me because I was telling her the exercises I had been doing. And there were several times she said, well, we don't do that anymore. That's not one you need to do anymore. Don't ever do that again. So there were lots of things I'd been doing wrong in my attempt to try to heal my hip and my leg. I don't know if many of you know this, but I tried about a year ago this 10K a day for like 50 days in a row, right? That was my goal. And it was for wounded warriors. And I was on day like 20. And all of a sudden, I got turf toe on my left foot. And so it wasn't feeling good to run. So I decided to grab a skateboard. And Chelsea was on her bike, and I was on a skateboard, and I was going to finish this 10K, and I thought it would give my foot a heel. And so as I'm using the skateboard for miles, I pulled something really up high in my hip, and it turns out it's like a torn or sprained ligament. And so it's caused me to limp for about, it's been almost a year. And by the end of the day, it's probably a level 8 pain. First thing in the morning, it's about a level 4. So it's been an ongoing, I've been very impatient in trying to get this fixed, right? But yesterday was my first rehab appointment, right? And Danny is in there and she's telling me, she's showing me all these new things I can do to help this heal. And about half of what I've been doing over the last year to get this feeling better has been totally wrong. So a lot of times when you're struggling with pain, it can help you not be patient, right? Because you want the pain to go away. So a lot of times we'll try to fix it ourselves. And in my situation, I was doing exercises that I'd been taught 30 years ago. Being an exercise physiologist major in college, I'd learned all kinds of things. But guess what? A lot of those things have changed now. They're not the same. And so by not being patient and trying to do this myself, I really messed up some things. It's gonna be fine. Just one day with Danny doing these new exercises and I'm already feeling better. Just so you know, praise God. So a lot of times we'll do that same thing when it comes to other types of pain in our lives. We'll try to fix it ourselves by doing things that may not be helpful to us, by self-medicating, or by doing things that just maybe have worked in the past. And we end up doing more harm than good. Whereas if I had just gone to Danny a year ago, I'd probably be out there running again by now. Because literally in one day of seeing her, I'm already feeling so much better. For me, I tended to departmentalize different parts of my life and maybe not give them all to God. And this is one of those areas where I wanted to fix it myself. And I think if I had, and I will, now I've given in, Lord. So that's my question for you is, in all the different parts of your life, even things like your investments or in maybe at work, have you fully given all those to God so that He can help you in a patient way, so that He can help you be patient in those areas? for me, this physical thing, I don't feel like I'd truly given it to God. I'm repenting. I'm admitting my relying on myself to try to heal this pain instead of giving it to God and doing the right thing patiently. So the question is, what areas in your life do you need to fully give to God today so that He can help you be patient? So we're going to go talk to this fisherman and see if he's had any luck yet. And as we do, we're going to sign out. Everybody have a great day. What a beautiful morning. It's warm out here. It feels like summer. Only 7 days till fall. Can you believe it? Wow. September 22nd, first day of fall. Only 7 days away. God bless you. God keep you. God help you make His choices today and every day, y'all. Let's choose to be patient. We don't have to be warriors and take over the city. Let's be patient in all areas of our life. Even areas that you might have just willpowered it yourself through those speed bumps. You don't have to. All right, I'm signing out. What a great God we have today.